morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Coffee. My name is Lance McKinnon, and I am here with my co-host, Tiffany Linderman. Good morning, Tiffany. How are you?
Hey, Lance, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful this Saturday morning. How's everything going?
Oh, it's great.
Oh, is
Hey,
it is it just me and you today?
I thought we were supposed to have a guest on. Oh my goodness.
Just like,
Did
do we
I?
have a guest here today? Tiffany, who's our
Wait,
guest
I'm
today?
here. I'm here. Wait, sorry. Oh, I still had
Oh
my
my,
mask on. I'm sorry about that. I had this thing made last year so it'd protect me when I go out, but I could still unlock my iPhone. And best of all, everyone wants to keep 6 feet away, so it's perfect. I'm
That
here.
is wonderful. Hey, Tiffany, who is our wonderful guest this morning?
my goodness. This is the one and only Jonathan Burns. Hello, Jonathan.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Boy, that was probably the best introduction I've seen yet by
Um,
far.
so we're done. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. See
Okay,
ya.
enjoy the weather.
Oh, I'm back. I even brought my coffee. I heard we were doing coffee today.
Yes, we're doing coffee.
Nice.
Here's to that.
You do coffee with a straw
Well, it's
and
it's hot out today, so I went with a iced caramel latte today.
wow, that
Mm.
Did you make
I
that
did. That's
yourself?
one of the skills I learned during the pandemic, how to be a better barista. So I worked on a lot of drinks over the past year.
I
Coffee
think we
drinks and then stuff for the adults late at
yeah.
night.
I was more on the adult side, just to say so. So Jonathan, tell us about yourself. Obviously, you are a comedian.
I am a comedian. I'm also a contortionist, magician, and a semi-professional Instagram model.
Oh,
Wow, that
I
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. So,
you
quadruple
had
threat.
me at contortionist. I mean, I mean that is. So tell us your story. How did
Yeah,
you
well,
get
I
to
I
this?
was a weird kid.
I can't imagine
That's
that.
pretty much it. No, I was kind of a hammy, hey, look at me kind of kid. And then when I was about 13, a magic shop opened up near my house, and my parents took me to check it out, and it completely changed my life. I went there, I learned a few tricks, and I thought it was like the coolest place on earth. And looking back, it was like a closet outside of a pizza shop where some guy was, hawking small magic tricks and things like that. But so I learned a few tricks. I started showing people like whoever would watch, and then eventually somebody asked me to perform at their birthday party, and I shoved a bunch of scarves up my sleeve, and I kind of did whatever I thought a magician should do at this birthday party, and I made like 25 bucks, and I was like, this is I just figured out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. So since then, I've traveled all around the world. I've got to perform on TV, and yeah, it's a cool way to make a living and get to see the world.
Okay,
When you
that
can see the
That's
world. Right
amazing.
now,
when you see the
not as
world,
much.
that is absolutely amazing. So I need to understand. So the magicians, it's all about illusions and
Sure.
everything, and there's got to be a lot of study with that. And
Magic. Sure. Okay. It's illusions, yes. Well, that was my first love was magic. Like even before I was interested in like in and actually learn some magic, my brother would show me tricks, and I would get like frustrated and like try to like I'd have to figure out how they worked. And then we also watched a lot of like at that time David Copperfield specials were on. And
yes,
then when I was a teenager and really getting into it, they had these specials every year called The World's Greatest Magic that were on NBC. It was like every Thanksgiving, and my whole family would be like watching TV, watching football, like at my grandmother's house, and I would sneak off to her bedroom and watch like on a 13-inch TV like these magicians from around the world, and that was sort of like that was my happy place was like watching these every year. I couldn't wait till they came out, and then I would record them and watch them over and over again.
now
I was hoping you'd say your whole family came
Oh
with you and
no, no,
watched
they were
the
they
shows, the
were they
magic
were
shows
more into
together.
the the football for sure. Guys in
So
tight
would you
pants, which
perform?
also magicians typically wear
Would
too.
you
But
perform in front of your family, or
I
like was it
did.
your
I
first audience?
they would, I would show them until they got sick of me, and then I think they started just pawning me off other people. So I think I kind of performed wherever I could. I remember doing like tricks in middle school, like in the cafeteria for like large groups of kids and other teachers, and then I would do birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, uh, retirement homes, like churches, kind of wherever they would put me in front of a group, I was there. So I've kind of performed in every situation. I've been a street performer. I've been worked at festivals. I've worked in nightclubs, comedy clubs, big theaters, closets, kind of wherever they'll have me. Restaurants. I did that for a while too, where I would like perform at restaurants while people are waiting for their food. I'd go around and do card tricks and stuff like that, table to table.
And typically, how long does it take for you to learn a trick? Because I did um, magic for show and tell one time,
Yeah.
and fifth grade with Roger Mullins, and we hit a quarter inside of a lemon. And
Oh yeah.
we put a little slice in there, and we are like, "Hey, look at this lemon!" And then and then we went, "Oh, there's a quarter in there," and the class went wild. But
Yeah.
it took us a whole bag of lemons to get it just right.
Sure, sure. Yeah, magicians are always having hiding stuff in lemons. I don't know why, but yes, it really depends on the trick. I can like some tricks will you learn it one time and you'll get it and you'll know it forever, and then other tricks take like years of practice and to figure out and to perfect. So actually, I can teach you a trick right now. Would you like to learn a trick you can do at home?
Yeah,
Okay,
Absolutely.
let's see. Let's do here. I'll do a quick. This is a magic trick. So I will reveal a secret for you. But this is a great trick you can do at home.
Are you not breaking
To
any trade secrets here? Like
I
the
am, but just
the
don't tell. No magicians. They won't check this out. I mean, if they do, we'll just skip this part.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. We'll do that.
All right, cool. Here, I'll do a trick with a match. Can you see the match there?
Yep.
So you can actually take the match, and if you just rub like that, you can make it completely disappear, and then you can actually grab it right back out of the air, just like that. Come right back. So for this trick, you're going to need a match, like a paper match, and you're going to need a thumb, and you're also going to need a tongue, because what we're going to do is we're going to take a tongue, lick the back of your thumb. This isn't really COVID compliant, but we're almost out of that. Don't worry. Lick your own thumb, not somebody else's thumb.
Okay.
So you're gonna take the match, you're gonna stick it on the back of your thumb like so, and you're gonna push down like that. And that when you do that, it actually sticks on there. Oh hi, I have a visitor. Hi, excuse me. Hi, what's going on?
Like,
You want to come over here and say hi? Okay. So we have a visitor in the middle of the magic trick.
Nice.
Okay. We
Ta-da.
welcome visitors.
This is Lydia. Can you say
Hi,
hi?
Lydia.
Hi, Lydia.
She's getting
You're
ready.
beautiful.
Say thank you.
thank you.
You getting ready to go in the pool? Yeah. What's up? What do you need?
Um,
And Lydia is
are you gonna come upstairs in a little
I
bit?
will come upstairs in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. You say
Lydia
hi.
is dad really funny?
Yes, is Dad really funny? Are you
We'll
really
pay you
funny?
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
All right,
like
why don't you head upstairs and we'll play in a little bit, okay?
she's like
Okay.
it's hot, Dad. No more tricks. No more tricks, Dad.
No more tricks.
Let's
She
get in
wanted
the
to stop
pool.
you from telling the secret.
I-
She was like, no.
that's,
Mm-mm.
that's right. I thought it was David Copperfield. He was like, no.
No, the magic police. They tapped into you real quick, and they're like, "We're here."
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It could have.
They
Yeah.
grabbed your
could've been-
mask and put it on and said, "It's not me."
It's not, where's that head? Well, okay, quick funny story. So usually I travel around. I'm doing shows everywhere, but over the past year I've been having to do shows via camera and from the basement Well, this is formerly known as the guest room. It's now my studio. Um, and and I did a show in December for Google. They hired me to perform for them, which I was really excited about. And it was going to be at like 4 o'clock on West Coast time, which was 7 o'clock here in the East. And I knew the family would be here, but I talked to my wife. I'm like, I know that this is like bath time, getting ready for bedtime, but we'll just, if you can just keep everyone upstairs, I'm going to be down there. It shouldn't be that long. She's like, great, we can do that. And so I'm performing for Google. I'm like, talking to the camera, and the same thing happens. There's a knock at the door, and it opens up, and it's Lydia, and she walks in, and she's completely naked, just going, "Hi, Daddy," and I'm like, "No!"
That's not part of the trick.
Yeah, no, it's not in front of Google.
So
No.
you performed in front of all of Google?
This was like one of their divisions. They like a part of like they just finished a big project and they were having like a holiday party for like this division of Google. So like I was really excited for it, and I'm like, okay, this will be fun. Something different from from the basement, and then yeah, just a naked kid walking in and going like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, nah. So
Daddy's worst nightmare.
yeah, luckily no one saw anything, and she got it, because she went upstairs. But
That-
back to the secrets. Magic. Here we go. So, magic. So, we did the disappearing match. So first thing, you take your thumb, you're going to lick it again. I know that's the part you wanted to see again. You stick the match on there.
You
And
lick
when-
your own thumb, not your neighbor's thumb.
That's right. You lick your own
Definitely,
thumb.
I'm not licking your thumb.
That's
I
right.
got my own.
And you could use water, like you could use a dab of water or whatever, just so because when you lick it, it's going to stick to the back of your thumb like so, okay, with your thumb down. Then you put your finger on front and you look like, oh, you got a match. And then when you open up your hand, what happens? That match sticks to your thumb, and it goes and it hangs out on the back of your thumb like so. So when you go like this, like you're going to take it, all you're doing is you're covering this action of you just putting your thumb back, pretend like you take it, it can disappear. And then you can make it reappear just like that. So
I am so trying that tonight.
there you go. No lemons required.
I'm down with the lemons. I'm moving on. And we're putting a disclaimer. Okay?
That's right.
Yeah,
No.
for
So
children, yeah,
this
do
works
not
well. I was
like
gonna say this works well with like a paper match, but you can always use like a piece of paper, or you can even like a piece of those tabs where you like sign here, like when you're buying a house, or like they put those little tabs on. You could use one of those too. So if you're in the office, that would be a great thing. No licking required as well.
No
So
licking required.
So with this trick, I mean, you really have to get good with your hand motions too. I feel like you have to practice it and then really be able to get that flick up really good, right?
yeah. Like what? So you've heard like the hand is quick on the eye. So sometimes if you do like a larger motion, it hides the fact that you're putting it behind your thumb. Or if you do this cover like this, like you're going to take it, then then you look over here as if you took it here, rather than like if you take it and then you're like watching it over here, people are going to know where it's at. So there's a little bit of acting involved. With all these all the magic tricks that I do, I practice a lot. So it's me watching myself in the mirror, videotaping myself, those sorts of things. This one is a great one you can learn pretty quickly and be able to wow your friends with in no time.
I am definitely trying that later, and I'm sure that's going to be Lance's next trick. Instead of using lemons, he'll use them for the adult drinks.
Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
Late night.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on some more tricks.
Nice. I know we were talking earlier, and you said how social you are. That was one of the things that kind of helped me too, just kind of hang out with new friends and meet people. Was like doing magic, and like it gave me a reason. Like if I didn't know what to talk to someone about, like I was like, hey, you want to see a trick? And everyone's, pretty much everyone says, oh yeah, and then you get to oh, excuse me, I'm back. It disappeared. So pretty much everyone loves to see a trick, and you can meet people that way and get to know them, which has been a really nice part of learning magic as well.
were you ever shy as a kid, or it doesn't sound like it, but if you were a shy kid, this could totally be something to help you break out of that shell.
For sure. And I have friends that I know that was their thing. Like they're like, I don't know how to talk to these people or get, be friends with people. So they learn magic as a social thing. I was kind of always the, hey, look at me kind of kid in school. Like I wasn't the class clown, but I would definitely like whisper jokes to the class clown and then they would say it and they would get in trouble. So I was sort of like, I was the
Right.
writer for the class
So
clown.
you're the setup guy.
That's right. I was like,
You're the setup guy.
well, it was great. He loved it because he loved getting the attention and being that guy. But I loved it because I'm like, oh, my joke landed, and I didn't get sent to the principal's office. So it was perfect.
So how do people find you, Jonathan? I mean, obviously you're global. I mean, you are like Google, you're global, your closets, your churches, your nursing
Wherever.
homes.
Yeah, a lot of it at first, like it was just kind of doing shows for me. When I was a kid, it was just doing shows and sort of word of mouth was my main thing. And then eventually I had like business cards made, and it was fun to be like a 14-year-old kid with his own business card walking around. And so I've always been like entrepreneurial in that sense, just like trying to make my own gigs and things like that. I do have agents and managers and stuff like that who help with some of that as well. But for the most part, most of my career it's kind of been self-driven of performing, and then if you do a good job somewhere, somebody else tells somebody else, and it kind of has snowballed since then, which has been a really nice aspect of it. And then even getting to do some of the TV spots, people see that and then they consider you for other things, which is.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I saw you on Penn Teller and your cheese trick or cheese, I don't want to give it away, but your cheese trick was outstanding. And if
Thank
you
you.
haven't seen it, you definitely need to check that out. How did you feel getting up on stage there? Was it just like a piece of cake for you?
Well, that routine I had been doing for a number of years, which was great. Like I went in there knowing it inside and out. I had to make some changes for TV, and because it's hard. Like when you're a performer, typically I can do whatever I want on stage for the most part. Whatever I write down or want to try, like I can. But at TV, they're like, we want it this way, and you have to send them a script, and they have to approve everything along the way. So I had to make a few changes, but for the most part, I knew the act really, really well. So I was kind of excited to just go there and present something that I've been working on for a long time.
How did it feel getting up there with Penn and Teller?
That was, it was definitely weird because they're like lit, like, usually the audience is like dark and everyone's sitting in front of you and it's like like you don't see them too much. But you look out, and the whole audience is dark, except for just Penn and Teller are brightly lit in front of you. So I tried not to pay attention to them too much, and just like, I wanted to do a good job for them, but it was like more about working for the audience.
Yes.
For that. And then they had me back this past year too. So in October, I went to Las Vegas, and I did another spot there. But at that time, the Rio was closed. And there's nobody in there. No one could be in the showroom. They had like a screen behind them that had people watching from home, but it was just Penn and Teller and me, and then Allison Hannigan, who's like the host. So it was just the four of us there, and I did a trick that I've actually never done before for anybody that I had been working on for a while. It was just an idea, and it was where I was in a straitjacket and I get folded up into a pull-out couch, and somehow I miraculously escape from it. So that was like an idea that I've been playing with for a while, and I did it for the first time on TV for Penn and Teller.
I was amazed that you could fit in that couch. I'll say that.
And it was actually it was from our house. Like we had that couch that used to be in my office in our 2 houses ago. But
your couch from Lancaster, Pennsylvania went all the way to Las Vegas?
It did, yeah. So somebody came to my house, a truck came to my house, we crated it up, and it got sent to Las Vegas, which is crazy. But that was a before so doing that was a little bit different because it was just I could only focus on Penn and Teller because they were the only ones watching me. But it all worked out really well, and I was really happy with how everything came out.
So yeah, I have to ask you, did your wife just say, okay, Jonathan, you're getting in a couch in a straitjacket? But who did I marry?
We've been together for 21 years.
Oh, so she gets
So
it.
she's at this point, she's just like whatever. Like she actually helped me. She helped me take the couch. I had to take it to a friend to magicify it. But she was the one who helped me carry it to the van and was just like, whatever. Like I don't know. And her parents were in town too. I remember when that happened, and they were like, "What are you doing?" We're like, "We're just getting rid." Like I didn't want to explain like what what I'm doing with this couch. But I think no one's surprised when I have an idea like that. That they're just like, "All right, whatever." Have fun.
You don't ask questions anymore.
Yeah, at this point they're like it's worked out this far, so oh, you're gonna make a living fitting through a toilet seat and crawling in couches. Okay.
So how do you find that magic brings joy to people? I know it brings joy to me, but like when you're doing it, because obviously the premise is, where you're making a difference in people's lives, so like in churches and nursing homes and on stage, and like how do you find that changes people's lives for that moment?
Um, it's my show's very silly, so that I think if you go along for the ride, you love it. Like you're gonna have a good time. It's kind of like I'm hosting this party. That's kind of how I look at it. So I
Yeah.
try to make sure everyone's having a great time. Um, so you sort of have to go into my world a little bit of the silliness, and then I think with magic it's hard sometimes too because there are those people who just want to be entertained by it and just love it because they're like surprised. And then there's people who get really frustrated with it because they're like, why can't I figure this out? This seems like it's so simple and I don't understand what's going on. Like I know it's a trick and
Yeah.
all they can do is so I find those people are never gonna like appreciate magic in the same way that somebody who just kind of like lets it be fun and just enjoys it and lets their brain be fooled and tricked.
Yeah. I think that even though just in the past year, I think probably, I don't know how many gigs you did or so forth like that, but it probably helped a lot of people who were just stuck at home. Just Zoom calls and uncertainty and stuff like that, that you gave them that time and space to like forget about life for a while.
Yeah, and it was equally good for me too. I over the past couple years, I've been doing like probably about 200 days on the road, doing lots of shows all over
Wow.
the place. And this when it all stopped, I had a busy schedule, and then it all just stopped, and I was like, what? That's that was my life. Like I didn't know what else to do because I had been doing that for years, and so it really changed things. And then I got hired to do. There's a group of street performers who like had like all these different street performers perform like this online show, and I was like, I guess I'll do that. And then it really made me feel like I was part of the community again. It got me performing, and it really helped my mental well-being as well because I was just so used to like, well, this is what I do. Like, what do I do with myself now? But I also learned, like I mentioned, I learned how to do coffees and cocktails and all that kind of stuff. And I built,
Hmm.
you saw my daughter in her bathing suit. I built this stock tank pool and I put a patio in. I built a dollhouse. Like I learned all these other skills that I wouldn't normally have time for that I got to explore and be creative in a different way.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so I've been trying to focus on those like pandemic positives and not be so like, "Ugh, all my gigs are gone," and
Yeah,
but
it's
now
all
also,
perspective.
of course, yeah, and now I feel like we're like getting out of it, and I have gigs lined up for the summer, and the fall's looking great. Like so, I'm excited to get back to that as well as appreciate all the things that I was able
I'm
to
so
do.
excited you're going to
Looking
start
forward
crawling out of the couches again and backpacks and toilet seats. I mean, the
That's
world needs
right.
you. We need the
Exactly.
happiness.
Crawl in my suitcase, get on a plane, and
Well,
get.
we're gonna have you come over to the bubble now because I know that we weren't taking applications,
You
but
told me
you
no applications, but
no, but I just got a notification and we have an
oh,
opening.
You kind of kicked me out of the bubble and you're going to take my spot.
I'm fully vaccinated. Does that help? I don't know if
Yeah,
that's.
but Tiffany, you're a cook, so you have to stay in the bubble because we need it. So we have to have a little bit of everything, and but we don't have a comedian. But we didn't talk about contortionists. How did you start that? Because I find I watch the America's Got Talent every now and again,
Yeah.
and I have a hard time just working my hands this way or walking. So
Well,
like, when do you decide, hey, I'm gonna like throw my arms backwards?
well, that was like kind of the first thing I did. I was always bendy. Like when I was a kid, like I would, everyone would be stretching in gym class like normal, and I'd like take my leg and I'd be able to, put it over my head and things. So I would gross out girls in gym class, and I would get a lot of reactions that way. And again, I liked the attention, so it was great. So I was always able to do that. Then I got into magic as far as like performing, and then I started adding in kind of the bendy tricks I could do with my body on top of that, and those sort of took over the show a bit. So it was like more like where I was trying to um, fit in suitcases and fit through, toilet seats and tennis rackets and picture frames and stuff like that, putting my leg over my head. So that was sort of the um, just another aspect of the show. So the show now is not like a magic show. It's not just a comedy show. It's a real variety show where there's circus tricks and magic and contortion and everything else.
I have to come and watch you perform now. I,
Yeah, yeah,
I, I'm
please.
I'm so intrigued, and you can actually bring me up on stage and do whatever you want. I'll be a
You're
willing
gonna have to do.
I'll be a
You're,
willing guest. I won't have lemons in my pocket or anything like that.
Cut open
Maybe
a
please
little.
make him do
maybe
some
Roger Mullins will
contortionist
have,
type
yeah,
thing.
maybe Roger will have lemons in his pocket, but I'm full blown. I've always been fascinated. I saw David Copperfield live
Yeah,
uh, in Rochester, New York, many years ago, and I
yeah.
was just absolutely blown away. So
So good. Yeah.
magic to me is like one of those mystery things that's just like, how'd you do it? Because I'm one of those people. I need to know how it's done, but I know now that you just can't go with the secrets because you'll have a knock at the door.
Yeah, exactly. At any moment.
And that's a true story.
That's right. That's right. I'm waiting for it right now. Um, yeah, and sometimes with magic too. Like once you learn how it's done, it's kind of not as fun because it's usually something easy and lame. Like once you figure it out, you're like, oh, okay. But yeah, that kind of like sense of wonder and excitement and just being astonished by something is so much fun. And
Yeah.
for
I
me,
was
it's
just gonna
hard. It's
say.
kind of
I'm
hard
sorry.
now because I've seen so much. So some of it's I'm kind of ruined on some magic, but when it does happen now, it's like really like what like every once in a while I'll see something. I've worked at like the Magic Castle in Hollywood, and sometimes you see things there, and you're just like I don't know. I don't can't even begin to know how this works. Like I have an idea of certain things, like okay, he stuck the coin in the lemon or whatever, but
Come on, my
um,
secret.
sorry. Uh,
We'll edit that.
okay, she's not knocking. Okay, good. So yeah, so that's really fun for me when that happens now, and that's actually I think part of the point of Penn and Teller Fool Us is when they get fooled, they get so excited because they've seen everything.
Mhm.
So when there's something new that they don't understand, I think it really it frustrates them, but also gets them really excited that people are coming up with new methods and new ways to perform tricks.
So who really influenced you? Like who is your biggest influencer? I know we talked about Penn and Teller a couple of times, David Copperfield, but who did you really like say, wow, I want to be just like?
Well, there's a few like magicians that aren't household names, like David Williamson. He's a magician from Ohio that was on those World's Greatest Magic specials when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Who actually I've worked with now. We were on Disney Cruise Lines together, so it's cool to. He's like one of those people you meet that I always looked up to. That is just as cool as I had hoped he would be, and
Yeah.
nice. And then there's like these other magicians like Jay Sankey is another one. He was sort of a magician from He's from Toronto, but he used to put out these like VHS tapes that I would buy when I was a kid, and he was not only really great tricks, but super funny. So I was like, oh, like this is my guy. Like, because you'd watch other magicians and it was kind of boring, or like it seemed kind of a little too old school for me. Like, and he was the first one I was like, oh, you can be really funny and be amazing. So I really loved that. But then there was also, Steve Martin and Weird Al Yankovic and PB Herman. Those were like all big.
Yeah, big names.
Yeah,
So,
anything they did was the best for me.
you said a VHS tape. I mean, for the younger generation, that's something you put in. so some of the younger generation might not know what a VHS tape is.
It's like streaming it, but on a big rectangular block that you stick in the machine.
It's like a super-sized floppy disk.
Yeah, I was gonna say a DVD, and they'll be like, "What? Like a Blu-ray? No, okay."
Yeah, I just had to bring that up there since we're going down that line. I was like, I haven't heard VHS in a very long time.
Yeah, right. Well, I still have some of those too, and my kids were like, they'll pull them out and be like, "What is this?" And you're like, "That's how we watched movies."
I have some as well too, so I like to keep them around because the nostalgia. Some of the good movies you'll never get back, and you always take the pencil. You got to wind the tape.
That's right. Be kind. Rewind. Of course.
Yes, absolutely. But Jonathan, I know it's Saturday morning, and your kids are ready to jump into the pool.
Get in that pool.
I mean, we've already got the knock on the door. We've had the visitor. We've had some absolutely great laughs. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person and coming out to seeing your shows. When are you hitting the road again?
I think next month. It seems like things are kind of coming back a bit more as things begin to open up. So yeah, if you go to my website, it's flexiblecomedy.com. You can check out there. There's a tour page that has upcoming dates and where I'm going to be.
Okay, we'll make sure we put that in your bio and send that out and everything, and hopefully we'll get you. You're already in the bubble. The application was approved.
Yes.
It just came across the fax machine.
Oh, okay, yes. I'm gonna mail you my VHS tape as well. It's my interview.
Wonderful. We'll sit around and eat popcorn. The old school with oil and just pour it in onto the stove.
I love it. I love it.
From that way. But thank you. It's Saturday morning, and go get in the pool like the rest of us because it's hot out there.
That's right.
And thank you for taking your time. You're making a difference in people's lives today and every day. I've learned something from this. I'm taking something from it. I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to try the match trick here later.
Awesome.
I can't bend over to tie my shoes, but I'm not going to. So I won't attempt to get into the couch, although I will be looking that up later on.
Please.
But thank you very much, Jonathan, for being on the Saturday morning coffee with us. Tiffany?
I just want to say that I want to grow up to be like you, Jonathan Burns, one day. So
Thank you. Oh,
you're my
goodness.
idol. Thank you.
So
Well, take care. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
yeah,
I'll see you guys. Thanks.
you.
I'm gonna one more trick before I go.
One more. Nice.
Thank you.
Bye.